Welcome in, whoever's in. Excuse me. Oh, drinking Coke. Hey, there is RD. There's RD. Oh, I'm just fine as they come, RD. Floating like a butterfly and sting like a bee tonight. They whacked half my toe off. They didn't do all the whole toe. So yeah. Oh yeah, it went well fine. Talked to the nurses, messed with the nurses. Yeah. Showed him he was boss. Gave me the good stuff. Oh, I'm drinking Coca Cola. That's all. Oh, I can still hear Black Betty. That's all. He Dr. Graybow with that's Haunted Bookshop. So what are you up to, RD? I wish I could play it on here, but I can't because I will get a copyright strike. Never know, RD. Gotta put something out. That's it. Sometimes gotta let the tobacco's set out, like on a paper towel or something. Just cause it's dry in there, it ain't quickly dry, and you know. Oh, I'll be drinking the feed tomorrow. Feed bears. Uh, yeah. Finish off my everything. Yeah. Oh yeah. Same day surgery all day. Yeah. I'm home. Same day surgery. They go in there, whack it off about an hour surgery. Whack that toe off, sew you up. You stay. You get out of that state for about half hour, and they send you home. So I was back here. Have what more on Friday? Well, are they? Oh, I got you now, are they? He was typing so fast I couldn't. I was like, whoa, whoa. He's drinking those beers faster than a hoochie coochie mama on election night. Oh, he's kissing the ring. Oh no, you better kiss that baby off good. Oh no, we ain't gonna disregard it now. Our days too late. He done spoke it. He done open mouth and insert a beer. Now we're gonna have to talk to the Don. Sorry, y'all. I got some bugging me here. It ain't so bad hot here. I think it's like 60, maybe 65 now, but it was like 72, 73 earlier. Oh, I gotta take care of a few things tomorrow. Oh, get his. Oh, he's getting his. Oh, I can't even talk on that one. His hands laid on him. Oh, he's just sweating. Oh, oh. Hey, RD, got something here. If you ever want to drink a can of pop with a straw in it, take that and turn it around and stick your straw. It keeps your straw right in place, so your straw don't move. Yeah, my scalp is so dry. And I get sore spots real bad. That's right. I gotta look very important, RD. Want to get some Jack tomorrow and get some Coke. Drink some Jack and Coke. Now I'm paying for one more time here for one more week. Then I'll move on. Excuse me. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Yes, he does, RD. He's got to know where his straw's at. Oh, oh, sit back for a second here. But I've been doing too much. I had surgery yesterday. Oh, I'm going back to my hometown, Greenfield. Going back to Greenfield. That's where I was born and raised out, and that's where I'm going. There's where you guys gonna be able to see the sights. That's where RD you get to see what my hometown looks like. That's why, because I don't know too much about courthouse where I'm at now. Well, I do, but going to an undisclosed location. Yes, I do, RD. No, I'm not staying with family. Because big majority of my family don't have nothing to do with me. That's sad. That is totally sad. I did bring my banjo back with me tonight, which I do got sitting behind me. Only thing I can say, RD, no, no, no. I'm not no program or nothing. It's just I'm gonna be staying on a friend's property in the country, pitch black. Oh, RD called me a sweetie. Well, bless your little heart. Oh, we'll be playing the banjo. Yeah. Hope I don't know I'm there. I can sit there, smoke my pipe, sit there, do whatever. Okay, I'm just messing with you, RD. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Back a far, far lane. That's why I'm away from everybody. I can get up when I want, sleep when I want. Go back to my old church I used to attend. but I'll do better. Because I know the territories, I know the place, I know about everybody. I think after about 8 years being up here back home. Yep, yep. Oh, I will. I can go into town if I need to get whatever I need, and I don't. I'll just go to town long enough to get what I need to get done, and I go back out there. But other than that, I got one main suitcase over here. It's got everything I need: my clothes, my tobaccos, everything I need. Well, of course, my canned goods and stuff like that I got. But oh no, so I see. I'm originally from Greenfield, Ohio. Look that up. Um, Here, look this up, RD. That's where Johnny Paycheck's originally from. Uh, George Jones stayed in there for a while. I stayed in town for a while years ago. Um, there's a lot of people. Excuse me. That's either been in country music and or gospel music. Let's see here. If I do it this way, it helps me remind myself. I write stuff down. But yeah, check that out, man. Even go on YouTube. Go on YouTube and type in Greenfield, Ohio, and you'll see some of the town. Tomorrow, I'm going to pick a lot of my stuff up while I have a ride. I really can't be walking on my foot. Hold on just for a second. Oh, Well, I get another can of pop. Turn mother light on back here. Um, Greenfield ain't a bad place to live. It's just there's people in there that I wouldn't. It's everywhere. But Greenfield's like Grand Central Station for drugs. Said all the time, especially in the summer. Um, they always call it Grand Central Station. Um, the Adams brothers. If you ever look up George Jones up and they talk about the Adams brothers, they're originally from Greenfield too, from where I'm from. Um, the first African American automobile company came out of Greenfield. Look up Patterson Car Company. Patterson. Um, there's a bunch of other places I can show you that used to be helped during the war, World War II. Um, some places still, but they changed. It's a different name now. Um, I can show you some places like the cemetery. Used to have a mausoleum. Used to belong to the Let me think of their last name. The Anderson family. Well, the Anderson family and another family had the mausoleum, which, if you don't know what a mausoleum is basically like a crypt for a family to have their loved one in a casket put in there and sealed by like a yay long, like a square block, but thin. Well, I won't say thin. I say probably no thicker than my notepad. And that's where they buried him. Well, it got to the point where it started to deteriorate, and there's a lot of different family members buried in there, and some not. Or there's some waiting to be buried in there. Um, it got to the point where they had to start pulling people out and start to figure out where they're see if there's any family members still living. There's some that were, there's some that weren't. They have the new section and the old section. Um, like I said, when I get time out there, when I get back, um, I'll do during the daytime. I'll do a video of the cemetery, and then RD, I will send you that video It's pretty good size. But in sections like section, I'll give you like I'll give you a prime example. Section 12, row one, two, third row, third, fourth row is where my mom and dad's buried at, and I'll show you their grave. I don't got a problem with that. You know, I'll show you the grave. Um, I'll show you some other graves that people that's prominent, which means there was high society in the town. I will show you the grave of Mr. and Mrs. McLean, which built the high school. If you go look, RD, I'll have to pop it up and show it to you. Well, send it to you. Of the McLean High School. He donated that. And not only did he donate that, also the school itself, it was the first ever school to have an inside swimming pool. And if you look throughout the high school, you'll see statues, the marble staircase. The marble staircase is only for seniors by ready to graduate, or teachers can walk up. Nobody else ain't supposed to be on the marble staircase. Um, if you ever listen to our all I can't pronounce it right now, but McLean School of Beauty. If you look at the high school, the vocational school, um, there's a lot of rich history in that town. I'm going to do seriously going to do series of videos and talk about it, story behind it. Um, there may be a couple things that I have to research, but um, there's such things as a lot of people don't believe in paranormal, but they don't believe in ghosts or paranormal. But there's actually a few things actually did happen in that town that I will discuss later on. Um, I'll give you one prime example of that. My dad used to work for a guy, and it was the Waddell Company. Well, what Waddell Company did was they make these custom cabinets that you see for people, like just put stuff on display. No, or a pie cabinet or the display cabinets. That's what they did. Well, there's a warehouse just like, I don't know, probably about not even half a block. Well, my dad was in there with another guy. The only two guys in there. True story. No joke. Oh, nice, RD. Well, I'll be daggone. If you come up, you let me know. My treat. And he said there's only two people. Nobody else around. Those I know the truck. He says, next thing you know, he says he heard footsteps, somebody running. And he says he could tell they was wearing like work boots. Thump, 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 thump. There was like, then they stop, walk, then come full speed of running again. They looked around, couldn't find nobody. Um, and this guy was my dad's friend at the time. And he wouldn't pull no, something like that. He wouldn't pull no jokes on you if you hear not, messing with you. So up, his friend down, I went up on the second level to see if, somebody was actually in the building messing around. Because there's a lot of stuff was tall and I wouldn't say cluttered, but it was neat, like in rows, you know what I'm saying? Um, it'll be like rows like this, So, sorry, I switched straws out to my other can. Sorry about that. Hold on. But anyways, because they was looking to see if there could have been a kid or an animal got broken in there and whatever. Come to find out there wasn't nobody but them two. Went back down, heard again. He says, I'm out. I'm out. Every so often, where we used to live, the funny part about it is, RD, excuse me, excuse me. The funny part about that, RD, we moved on this street called Olive Street. The funny part about it is, RD, the only thing I did is walk out my mom and dad's house, walk to the sidewalk, and turn to your, say, wait a minute, turn to your right. Right there's the building. You go down to the street this way, like to your, yeah. Well, there's a ditch and the railroad tracks. And then on the other side of the railroad tracks was the building. And sometimes at nights, and I thought my dad was also bullshitting me. Excuse me, I was bullshitting me on this, but he wasn't. Sometimes you can hear people down there hollering, screaming inside that building. I said, you're full of it, Dad. He said, all right. I could take you to a house. No joke. That people says, oh, you're full of us. Okay. Okay. I could tell when somebody tells me that. I can guarantee nine times out of 10, they're not from Greenfield. They're not from my area. The way this house sits all day, it looks like it came out of a damn horror movie. It'll be like uh, like the Amityville Horror. You remember that movie, the Amityville Horror? Well, that's what this. It ain't the house ain't identical to, but that's what it looks like. Sits up on a daggone hill itself. People say, "Oh, that ain't haunted. That ain't haunted." Okay, all right. You meet me here about 11:30, 12 o'clock tonight. And so I take it down there. Those, oh, I ain't nothing in that house. Well, I just about a half hour apart before meeting them. I was already at the bar having a couple beers. So I was like, well, I looked at Thomas Boys. I'll be back in a little bit. Where you going? You remember that house? You know that house up on Linden? Sits up on that hill? Yeah. And I said, well, I got a couple guys saying I ain't haunted. Says, we gonna do this. I'm gonna take my bear. You're full of blank, I'll be all right. They went up there. I said, now you boys go back there. And I told them where to go. Now make sure that your phones are shut off. Yeah, thank you, RD. I said, now you boys shut your cell phones off. I'm going to shut mine off. Now I said, this is what I want you to do. So go up, ain't nobody in that house. I promise you that. There ain't nobody there. Which I knew I wasn't lying to them on that. Hell, there ain't nobody lived in that house for as long as I can remember. And I said, what you boys do is you go up around the house, come on that side where the porch is, and I said, you just sit there, don't make a move. I said, I'll be back here in a little bit. So I walked downtown about about 4 or 5 blocks, went down and gave me a can of chew and a big bottle of pop. I always get those not those 2 years of pop, but it's like a liter pop. You get for like $1 something, like Pepsi, whatever. So I went ahead and grabbed me, well, I grabbed 2 cans of chew and 2 bottles of pop so I can have something to drink. Now I'm laughing. I'm just laughing. Well, one of my buddies happened to be down there. Jeff, what are you laughing about? I said, well, I got 2 dudes over here, got one house over here on Linden Hill. I said, up on the hill. I said, they're there by themselves. They said, you crazy SOB, you leave them guys up there by. Oh, I said, they say, think that house ain't haunted. Dude, this ain't no lie. I have to just turn my phone on. I just happened to made up by the police department, which you can set uptown on the bench up there. They got a bunch of benches you can sit on. And because they got a water fountain, I was sitting on there and I said, what's wrong, boys? You crazy SOB? And there is York. Welcome in. They said, you crazy SOB? He was right about that house. Well, what about that house? Well, we heard a bunch of footsteps and this, not, and looked like somebody had lit a candle and walking through the damn house with a damn candle. I said, are you sure? What's up, York? Or Katie, whoever it is. Oh, York, I just had my surgery yesterday on my foot. They cut, not change, they cut half my foot down to my knuckle. So they gave me some good medication, good stuff. But stuff like that all day. And like I said, I've done some videos, and I might talk to a couple of people that are willing to be on video. Um, there's a couple other buildings that and houses. Um, yeah, call them call them guys out. If you ain't scared, you could be a Ghostbuster. If you ain't scared, have I actually seen a person walk through? Yes, I have. Call me crazy, call me nuts, call me a lunatic, whatever, but I've seen them. And I won't forget it either. Yeah, I was probably about 5. Oh, Katie's in bed, huh? Shame on her. Now, wow. If we gotta be up, Miss Katie's gotta be up. I'm telling you, she's all right on it. Um, we was in bed one night. When I was growing up, I lived in a house where, how can I put it? When you walked in, that was part of the front room, bedroom for me and Dad. Then there's another room off that my sister and my mom slept. Um, we had an outhouse, but we had a thing inside the house made to where it had a 5-gallon bucket for the middle of the night. Then Dad would take it up early mornings and dump it in the outhouse and clean it out with bleach and stuff, sanitize the bucket real good. Well, anyways, one night we was in bed. No joke. Next thing you know, there's somebody standing at the door. And I happened to look and I said, Dad, I said, somebody's at the door. No, there ain't. He happened to turn and look and his face got white as a ghost. And I mean like white as his paper. Well, first he couldn't say nothing. He's like he froze. He's breathing stuff, but he just like froze. He couldn't move him. And then next thing you know, the same person was at the door was standing at the edge of our bed that night. Well, when that happened, Dad says, holy blank. Well, Mom and them got up, looked at my dad and says, what is going on? He says, I just happened to see my brother George. And George has been dead for I don't know how long. My mom says, Clarence, are you all right? He says, yeah, I'm all right. He looked at me and he says, Jeff, did you see what I just seen? I said, yeah. I said, he was at the door. And I said, he went from the door to the edge of the bed. I said, I don't know if he was trying to tell Dad something or me something. I said, I don't know. Well, come to find out, George was trying to tell my dad something. I forget what was over. He was trying to warn me. He was trying to warn my dad. Because they was brothers. He was trying to warn me. Have I seen ghosts actually walk through like that? Yes, I have. But there's been times I've been on my medic. I told what happened to my dad one time, and I felt so bad for my dad, so bad. Bless his heart. So he was sick, and he was taking Dayquil or NyQuil. I forget which one he was taking. Well, I happened to walk in the house one day. And he looks up at me and he says, Jeff, son, all right. I figure, okay, so I said, so instead of sitting in my chair where I can look right straight dead at him, I was on the couch side of him. And he was kind of all shook up. And he says, Jeff, he says, I was sitting here and he says, I heard the front door open up, a bunch of people come stood right there, laughing, giggling, carrying on. I told them they need to get out of the house. They went to the kitchen. He says, I went through, Jeff, didn't find nobody. He said, what I want you to do, he said, I want you to go back to the bedrooms back there, see if there's anybody in there in the closets. He said, search the whole house, search the outside, search the garage and everything. Thinking, what in the world is going on? I've never seen my dad act like this. So I walked through. Well, the next door neighbor was out, and I said, Phil, have you seen a bunch of people roaming around here in that yard or anything, around the pop or anything? He gave me this solid look, and he says, no, Jeff. He says, we were sitting out here the whole time. He says, what's going on? I said, I'll explain to him what, no. I said, well, this is what Dad told me. Like that. They said, is he all right? I said, that's got me kind of a little worried. I said, you guys know he's been sick, right? They said, yeah. They said, he's been taking that cough medicine. I said, do you ever think that's causing him a bit? Possibility. He says, come on, Jeff. He says, go talk to him. We walked in. They said, Clarence, you been taking too much of that cough medicine? He says, Jeff told me what was going on. He says, on the property because he says, me and Yen's been sitting outside for over an hour. He says, but I swore up and down they'd come through my door. Well, my dad was haunted anyways. You could be sitting there this time of the night watching TV, just have a light on. My dad had one of those lamps, lamps got a regular bulb in it. We was all sitting TV. No joke. You can hear my bedroom door back there. I had a bedroom with a 10 by 10. And you can hear my door open and shut. Like somebody's going in or coming out. Or you can hear the cabinet doors in the kitchen. Now, let me remind you, we do have a back door. Goes out on the back deck. But that door's locked up. The screen door and the regular door is totally locked up. And Guy says, well, he looks at me and he says, well, you hear that, Jeff? I said, yeah, I heard it. So I had to go in there and say, y'all better start down a little bit. I said, y'all. And I was back in my bedroom one night, sleeping like a baby, because I was sitting there to take care of my dad. Plus, I was working at the time too. So I was sitting there. Well, Dad would stay up till about 10:30 at night, sometimes 11, depending on if there's a good show on or something. That's the latest he'll ever stay up. And usually I'll stay up with him and watch something with him. She don't sit there by herself. Because my dad, he was a shut-in. He was elderly, plus he was shut-in. He couldn't hardly get around much anymore like he used to. So I'll sit there and watch TV with him or something. Well, that night I said, Dad, I'm going to bed. I said, I can't hardly keep my eyes open. He says, you doing anything tomorrow? I said, no, I got a couple of days off from work at the time I was working in a nursing home. I said, I got a couple of days off. Why, Dad? He says, I want you to hang around the house. He said, I just got this feeling. And I'm usually the same way. I'm like, but Dad, if I get a gut feeling or something about something, something's going to happen. It's going to happen. Don't know when, but it's going to happen. Or he's like me too. If I tell you, like, and now start looking in and tell you something, it may not happen right now, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's all right. And I said, I don't feel like doing anything anyways. Just going into the weekend. And, and I asked myself, well, yeah, I need to go down and get me a couple of beers. I said, a six pack or something outside. So I went to bed. This is like one, maybe 34 in the morning. Well, I had this room set up. I had a couch back there. I had a bed back there. I had my TV, my AC. I can count thing. I had to walk out the bedroom door. I go right there to the kitchen, get what I needed, or bathroom. Now, normally during the day, if I'll keep the door open up so I can hear my dad just in case he needs me. Well, about 3 or 4 o'clock that morning, my bedroom door opens up. Half asleep, half awake. I think, well, I'm thinking it could be dad just roaming through the house. It wasn't. Now, let me remind you, the bedroom door is closed, opens up. So I got, I had, of course, I wear like, like shorts. I have my underwear on, but like shorts, like wear outside shorts, like swimming shorts, whatever. Well, I had a pair on. No shirt on because it's summertime. Normally, it's like here, like right now. I mean, I got a shirt on, but if I'm not on camera, I'll take my shirt off. Well, I'm thinking, well, I'm half asleep, half awake here I am. I'm going like this to my head. And I'm thinking, well, I got pee anyway. So I went and peed. Walked in the front room, didn't see nothing. Checked the front door, make sure the front door was locked. I think, well, I'm not checking the bathroom. I checked the utility room, checked the kitchen. Well, I've got to go to Dad's bedroom because when I came out of my bedroom, go to the left, out of the hallway. Okay, I walked up. Then you have the bathroom on the left, utility room on the right. Walk up in the middle room. Right there's my dad's bedroom on the left. Well, now this is what spooked me. Now, I mean, this spooked me. Opened that door up and there sat my dad. He was sitting on the edge of the bed. What the hell? I said, Dad, you all right? Didn't answer me. I said, Dad, you all right? But he didn't answer me. I said, oh, shit. So I flipped the light on. He was breathing, but he was sleeping. I said, Dad, Dad, Dad. I had to yell real loud. Started him. I had to grab him so he didn't fall forward out of the bed. I said, you all right? He said, yeah, what? I said, what in the hell you doing sitting on the edge of the bed? He said, what do you mean? I said, look, you're sitting on the edge of the bed. He says, what in the hell's going on? I said, you tell me, we both know. He kind of looked at me, so he had his bed. Well, there was a bed across from him was my mom's bed. Nobody didn't sleep in that bed. So I said, there's the light on. I said, we're face to face like I'm doing this to you. I said, Dad, I said, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I said, here about 5 minutes ago, my bedroom door came open by itself. I said, I came in here along that key and I checked everything. And I said, I caught you sitting on the edge of the bed. Now, there's something going on. No, my dad wouldn't be able to sleepwalking. No, not my dad's condition. No. I mean, I've sleepwalked through the house before, but my dad would never do that because if he would open up my bedroom door up, I would have noticed. And I would have caught him walking back to the bedroom because my dad can walk that fast. There's a spiritual realm within that house. Like I said, there's a lot of people believe them, a lot of people don't. Until you experience for yourself. The whole neighborhood block there, it's just a short block. That whole block was haunted anyways. I've seen things happen on that end of town, on that street. I could take you to areas of Greenfield and show you, hey, this what's here. I could tell you it's okay during the daytime, whatever. Or I could say, well, you know, avoid from this time to this time. It ain't because, yeah, it could be spiritual or it could be the law. But there's certain places in that town that I wouldn't dare let nobody go through after a certain time of night. Now, as far as spiritual goes, yeah, some people pack some, um, like Greenfield, for instance. I'll use my hometown because I'm ready to go back to York. Uh, I know the woman that, God bless her. Um, thanks, RD. We're gonna get good here in a little bit. There's a woman there, God bless her, but she's gone now. She has to be. And at one time, she was a good-looking woman. At one time, I've seen pictures of her, but with drugs and the alcohol and this, that, and the other, caught up with her. But anyways, I'll be right back. But like I said, she was a good-looking woman one time. Well, she George called her Catwoman, and the reason why they called her Catwoman was it's because she'll put so much makeup on up around her eyes so bad, and it used to be either dark blue or black. And her name was Kathy. Kathy. Oh, I can't think of her last name right off. But she's every time she'll see me, she'll say, "Hey, Jeff, you want to come down and drink a little?" Nah, Kathy, not today. Oh, come on, not today, Kathy. Well, some say she was bipolar. Some say she had different personalities. Some say she was demon possessed, which I believe she was demon possessed. Well, a friend of mine was staying down there with her one time. Her name was April Groves. She says, "Hey Jeff," because she see me walking down Second Street. She says, "Hey Jeff, Jeff." I was like, I looked. I said, "What's wrong with you? I need your help." What? She says she ain't gonna believe this. It's got to do with Kathy. What's she doing? Go look. She says, "First go in the bathroom, look in the sink." Like, oh, here we go. She says, "You won't believe me unless you see it, then I'll tell you what's going on." Okay. So I walked up with her and pie. I said, "Cassie, what are you doing? Are you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm just in there trying to get that menthol out of that tobacco. I got it all watered down in there." What now? I thought I was nuts, but she's plumb nuts. Walk in there, sure enough, she had the sink full of water and she had this cigarettes that was menthol cigarettes. And what she was trying to do was, if she figured she tear them apart and put them in there, tear them apart so you can, that water will suck out all the menthol to be just a regular cigarette. And I looked at April and I said, "You got to be shitting me. Seriously?" Well, she was seeing this guy named Old Joe Matlock. Old Joe. Yeah, he was nerd in a fruitcake. So she had this big bag of menthol tobacco for real young. And I told April, I said, "Take that bag and you, by God, you better take it somewhere and freaking hide it." And so finally, she was possessed. I've seen the demons. So was Joe. Joe used to beat the snot all over her until I stepped in. Hmm. And I won't forget that day that happened either. And I got away with it. And I got away with it. And that's how I got away with it. I was standing there talking to not just the whole subject of how Greenfield is, but I'm just giving you this prime example how some of the people are. But I was standing there talking to April. Well, Joe plumb forgot that I was there. And next thing I know, I heard a hit. Like somebody's either getting smacked or punched. And the only thing I heard was, like that. So I have me and April, I said, "April, what the hell's going on? Do you think Joe done something to her?" And she says, "Probably so. They do it all the time." I said, "Why don't you report it?" I said, "If you don't report it, you could be the next one." So I walk in there and seen her laying on the floor. And I said, "Joe, what the hell did you do?" I said, "Cass, did he hit you?" And you could tell inside her face. "Yeah, he hit me." Joe, I said, "Joe, you hit her. I can tell you hit her." He says, "Won't you break it out of my house now?" And I said, "Joe, won't you make me?" I said, "Dude, I will beat you like a redhead stepchild, Joe." Well, he chirped, and April told him because I grew up around April's family all my life. And April told him, says, "Joe, he don't feel like fighting. He don't want to fight you." Well, that Blake BF, and all. I said, "Well, okay, Joe, we're going to fight." Well, we got into it. Well, the law shows up. And there is Patrick. Welcome in. Um, so I'll ask what happened. I explained to him. And the only thing that saved me was I let Joe hit me a couple times in the face. And I said, he's a nutcase. And I said, "I don't see why Kathy won't leave him." And yada, yada, yada. Well, what do you want us to do? There's nothing you're going to do because honestly, if you take him to jail, her to jail, both to jail, they get out in the morning, they're going to come right back down here to do the same thing all over again. Well, there's a church down there, not far from Second Street. A lot of people jumped off that one. I know. Well, I was a kid when the first one happened. She survived. Then here probably see, back in '06, '07, no, '09 or 10. But anyway, 2010, 2011. This girl, she probably had enough. If you, there's certain words I can't say on here, but she had a tired life. And she went down there and jumped. And you know that girl at that time lived walking, breathing, talking, breathing, and walking to live to tell the doggone tale. No joke. Live to tell the tales and then say, I survived jumping off the truss down there. Too many demon possessed. Hey Patrick, what you smoking tonight, brother? Patrick, if you didn't know or anything, I had surgery on my toe. Um, they took half my toe off, in which, you know, it's a green field divided down the middle, which means you got the good section, bad section, good, bad, and worse sections. That's like me, Patrick. Um, you take a small rural town like Greenfield that people don't talk too much about, like they would these big cities like Columbus or Texas or New York or wherever. Um, all righty, Yorny, thanks for stopping in. Be careful, safe. Thank you for dropping by. But Greenfield's the type of town that, yes, I'll live there, but not on this end of town or this section of town because I call them the creatures of the night. Um, Me and a buddy of mine's got another name for them, but I can't think of it right off. But I call them creatures of the night because they'll come out and do this and that, but there's other people gets out too and walks. I mean, I could be standing uptown and somebody will come by and I'll be sitting up there. Hey, Jeff, what you doing? What you not this time of night? Just been out because they know it's me. If I'm out 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and I'm sitting uptown, they know something's up. Especially with me. Because 9 times out of 10, somebody's barked up the wrong tree and they barked up mine. And I'm waiting for them to bite. But you have your, like I said, Greenfield's got some good history. The good and the bad, the ugly. Um, I had a best friend got killed there. Um, you all heard the story about that boy killing that girl, which I never thought in a million years that he'll do something like that. But he was all possessed over because of obsession. That she was a good looking girl, don't get me wrong. But in his mind was if I cannot have her, nobody else gonna get her. For his side he had 4 other guys helping. The 2 out of the 4 guys I went to school with besides the main just the other guy. So 3 out of the 5 guys I went to school with in those years. Never gave it a thought that would ever happen. Sad. I've seen people I didn't went to school with. Couldn't take life much longer. And here's the thing, guys. I grew up in that town. I've seen a lot of ups and downs and heartaches. I mean, let's face my own life, but I'll never put myself in that position to the point to go that far. To do something, I call that the coward's chicken way out of life. Yes, I had a lot of heartaches. I had a lot of completely down and out in life. Oh, nice hard days. Like I said, let it dry out for a little bit. I mean, see what happens. And here's the thing, guys. And I use myself as an example. That's why I don't get myself into trouble. When I was living in that town, I had a lot of heartaches up and down. Didn't know where I was going to get my next meal from. Didn't know where I was going to lay my head that night. Didn't know what was going to happen. But a lot of people were good in my position like I was, and then turn around and say, well, I can't do it. Can't do it. Um, I had a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things happen to friends of mine. I've seen Um, besides RD, Patrick, I don't know if you've seen Pipe here, but this is Omega. Got it about a month or so ago. Bought it brand new. Well, the thing is, guys, don't let things of others influence you to do something that you don't want to feel like doing. It'll be like it'd be like me telling guys, hey, the only thing you smoke is Dr. Graybos. And you guys smoke haunted bookshop for the rest of your natural life. Are they I mean RD's correct, but you gotta look at this way too. Um oh that reminds me since Patrick's on, I'll wait. But tomorrow's never promised. I've seen people pull through and basically left for dead, pull through. And I got a prime example of that. This gentleman right here, right where my finger is in a bad wreck. They thought he wasn't going to make it. Well, they just got married here not too long ago, him and his wife now. But I'll go ahead and get it while since he mentioned it. Oh, um, Patrick, do you know Dude Rushka over on Instagram? Dude Rushka sent me some 2019 on the bookshop. Not only that, that I typed it out. Some 2009 John Bull some Raven Wood, and the Country Squire Swift Current Coffee. Not only that, I got a full Tim. Swift Current Coffee. It is oh nice. So I gotta go get rid of my tobaccos, but this is a but here's my little tobacco thingy. Oh, excuse me. Well, he used to be um his name's Steve. Steve he used to go by oh he used to be on YouTube. Um he's from California. How I can't take now to ask him. Well, 5 seconds. I really don't want to leave that out. This here is from 7. It'll be a year old in July. So Reeves stocking up on my tobaccos now since I got an address now that since now I got an address now where I can be safe. You know what I mean? But this stuff here is more of an aromatic. Um, Patrick, I did got some half and half somewhere. It almost smells like you can smell the liquor in there, and it almost smells like Jack Daniels or it's on the tip of my tongue. Not about a little aromatic, you know. So how's everything been going for you, Patrick? Everything's been doing all right with you? Sorry about that. I had to grab something real quick. Good, good, good. But now I got set up now. If I was start receiving any tobaccos now, I know where I got a safe. Um, place. I don't have to worry about being taken or stolen or whatever. Um, but I had to go get my other pipes and stuff. I do have another pipe, Patrick. I'll get it. The Missouri Meerschaum Ozark pipe. Um, well, I cannot smoke in the room, but I was going to smoke some Swift Current coffee, which is it's a vanilla something. Now I like system pipes. I never had trouble with them. You just gotta learn how to. Took me a while, but yeah, I gotta push my pipes here. But that's the only thing I need for right now. Yeah, the old. What type is it? A Peterson or a 7 Now I know Pearson does system system pipes. Sorry, my the medicine guys. I'm sorry about that. Um, true, true. Sorry, guys, I've got some water. I got me some water. There's only one or two pipes I've been wanting, but right now everything's been going wrong for me this year. Um, is a let me think the name of that pipe. Exactly. It's just the name. Let me think that name of that one pipe. Huh. And some of those Peterson pipes, I don't know. Here a couple years ago, they had a I don't know if they had a bad batch, but the hole wasn't drilled right in the bowl. You know what I'm saying? In the bowl here. This is fine, but there. In other words, it could be, say, the drive hole's here, but the hole here could be like up here, and those having the bad trouble with the Peterson. Now I got two Petersons, and I don't got no trouble with either pipe. But no, the one pipe is by it's got the lightning bolt in the pipe, and the other pipe I've been wanting is an OMS. Yes, I got a Savinelli. Bones, the Bones pipe. I'm thinking about tomorrow. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on one. Uh, what shape is it, RD? I know once I would say Peterson, but if he like here, for instance, right there it says Omega Dr. Graybow. Okay, if you the other side RD, on the other side there should be a number right there. It'll be TT1 or 606 or 673 or there should be three numbers on the opposite side of the name. But where did you actually buy it from? Did you actually buy it from like tobacco pipes or oh your pipe is like Sergeant Savinelli's pipe, the saxophone pipe. Yeah, the saxophone pipe is where this here comes up in bends. That's a quarter bend there, it ain't a full bend. I haven't got my book here as of late, but well, I have been on the website as of late, but no. You take this Dr. Grape Omega. If you look, it's got that P lip on there. But there's no hole on top. Okay. Let me. Um. Not on this pipe, are they? Hey, there's no hole there. Looks like a P lip, but there's no hole there. Now I have a church warm pipe. It's got P lip. Does have a hole on top. Looks like a Peterson, but it's not a Peterson. Look it up. It's called a Wellington. Oh, okay, all day. And I think that's how much the bonus pipes are too. I'm thinking about, like I said, I think about pulling the trigger on one. Unless somebody's got one they're wanting to depart. I'll buy one off somebody. As long as I got your info. Like, not, don't put your on here. That's no. Don't put on my live. But if I have your info, if you got like a card like PayPal or something like that, I can straight shoot you money. I'm going to stop by the tobacco store tomorrow too and see what they got. I might buy me a couple more of these. This is made by the Missouri Meerschaum. The same company makes the corncob pipes, guys. And let me tell you something. Get you one of these. Nine something, tax no 10 something. The best old smoker, lightweight, shoot. And in the bowl size, I really don't see that much difference. This here is I ain't smoking nothing right now already, but that little sucker right there, shit. Black matches used to say. Black matches used to say. Got a hole? Got a chamber hose. Put your tobacco in there and smoke it. Yeah, that's what I've been telling for years, especially on my lives and everything, is stock up on tobacco pipes before they go out of outrageous prices or they're totally gone. I know tomorrow I got to pick up some lighters up, but yeah, stock, because it's gonna get to the point where yeah, I wish I had the money right then and there deal. I would have pulled the trigger on that faster and I'll get out. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't for the price. Nah. But maple shadows in autumn evening are the same. It's just maple shadows got more maple in it than autumn evening does. Well, here's the thing how to deal with it. Let me break that down. Daybreak. I'll tell you something. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write down the list. I have to look them up. But there's other pub shops out here, like Watch City Cigars, and there's another one in Virginia. There's these other pipe tobacco shops that they can ship out. You just got to look for them. And everything, too, like I said all day, there's these shops out here. You have to look online. Some of them online. Like me, I have to go clear Columbus to a tender box and go down Cincinnati. But what I'm trying to say is, they may have it sitting there. You know what I'm saying? And see that you're correct. And see that's where you got to compare your tobaccos. Now, like Haunted Bookshop, I compare it to Old Joe Krantz. Old Joe Krantz, the Haunted Bookshop. They're like brother and sister. But which one do I prefer? I prefer Haunted Bookshop, and that's you know. Well, then me when I get off tonight, I'm gonna go on some of these sites and see what I can do. There may be no guarantees, but I'm trying to think that one shop that John all brought up mentioned that one time. I'm trying to think of it. but I can't remember which live it was or which video it was. Well, RD is not as bad as the FDA regulations. And now it's getting to the point. Look what happened to Sutliff. These tobacco companies are getting drowned out by the FDA to the point where they can't keep their doors open. Look what happened to McCollum, Dunhill, Sutliff. There's a few others. Couldn't keep the doors open. And here's the thing. I knew what was going to happen. But based not on myself, but there's a few other people talked about it. But um, hold on for a second, guys. I had to go and grab my charger real quick. There we go. Well, RD, the only reason why they're crashing their burn costs, like I said, is the FDA. The Food Drug Administration is cracking down on tobacco companies because they're comparing pipe tobacco to cigarette smoking, which is totally different. Cigarettes got like 250 to 1,000 different ingredients in it. Pipe tobacco don't. And they wonder why. And people don't understand they have to raise. The only reason why they're raising their prices to buy is getting to the point where they're trying to get people to stop buying. That's it. And that's why if you look at some of these pipe videos and you see this guy's got all this tobacco that he can start his own tobacco store. And they said, right, look at him bragging about how much tobacco he's got. Well, no, he's stocking up. Why? Because it's going to come to a point in time where you ain't going to be able to get nothing. You're not going to be able to buy. It's like the state of Washington. You cannot um, send tobacco there. And there's another state, Washington, and there's another state you cannot directly send tobacco there. So in other words, you have to send it to somebody else that's like the next state over for you to get it. No, you drive yourself out of state and get it. I tell you what, if all the box I got sitting in Tim's, I gotta go get that. And if I would have just took all the boxes I got when I moved that one time, all this tobacco I got, it can last me for another several years. Well, look at Peterson bought out what Dunhill? Yeah, yeah. Peterson got a hold of Dunhill's recipes and stuff. Is it still the same? No, not my opinion. Cause I had quiet nights. Yeah, it was quiet nights. It wasn't the same. It was. That's what I thought, Patrick. That's what I thought. Because when I started in the YTPC, um, McCollins was about ready to shut their doors. Then, what long after that, it wasn't too long, Dunhill closed. Oh, I forgot about that. Well, it's either way all day. I mean, it's good to talk about it. I mean, it's good to talk about the pipe tobacco companies and the pipes and, you know. But here's the thing. I look at it this way all day. Um, if you do find the tobaccos you like, people are selling them for a price. I'll give you a prime example, like the Frogmorton series made by Macallan. Okay, I've seen people sell 110 unopened for anywhere from 150 to $200 just for 110. I've seen others sell the whole series for three or $400, $500, $600 because they got the complete series that have been open. It's crazy. Why? 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 Oh well, because they don't make it anymore. You know, that's true, Patrick. That's very true. They couldn't keep up with the demands of what people's wanting. They couldn't get their regular tobaccos anymore like they normally get. And that's what's going to happen to McBaron, STG, There's a few others going to happen to them. I say they'll be out of business in the next couple of years. Um, oh, speaking of that, there it is. You know, like super value. Guess who makes super value? Okay, you ready? Sutliff. Wait a minute. That is crazy, Patrick. So, in other words, anybody under the age of 16 can buy the tobacco, but once they reach a certain age, the legal age, they cannot do it. Now, that's messed up. Now, this here is made by Sutliff, but it says manufactured by Dream Castle Tobaccos. Right there. But it'll tell you, Sutliff. You know that, here's the thing. Let me do something real quick. Here's the thing I'll do, too. And back in the day, when my dad was growing up, he was 18. Um, but now he's 21. He's on Instagram. I looked up Tennessee Bowl, and he wiped all his content out. He's still on YouTube, but he wiped all his videos off. Now you can see Tennessee Bowl in people's videos, but um, Oh, okay, I got you now, Patrick. Tennessee Boys come on my lives, but um, he started about the same time I did. Well, I say about 6 months before I did, and I've been on YouTube since 2017. Um, he's good friends with Can anybody hear me? Now that's an oldie, RD. Oh yeah, I remember that. Patrick, I just talked to Willie here the other day. Yep. And I know what Willie's real name is too, but I will not repeat it on here because he will hunt me down. RD. It's more like he kisses my ring. No, I actually talked to Willie here the other night. Yes, it is chain of command. They should be bringing back the lives here pretty soon. It's just right now, yeah. But yeah, Patrick, I do too. It's just I ain't gonna put it out there. Cause I got respect. Cause I'll be up to him to, cause sometimes he comes on my lives and I'll be up to him to say it. That's just how I feel. I mean, not just ring all day. That's not for I have to go back and see. I have to go back on YouTube and see if I'm subscribed to him. Because every time somebody says, "Well, have you seen so and so's video?" I said, "No." Why? Well, they just made one. Well, then I had to go over on their channel and resubscribe. There for a while here, 4 or 5 years ago, no longer, it was kicking people off of being subscribed to. I'll tell you, I could tell you who was my very first subscriber. Actually, two people. I can tell you. One was Matches 860 John, and the second one was Tennessee Bowl. Well, RD, he ain't made men yet. Just kidding. He had to go through Willie and John for that one. But now I have to go back over and check on see if and yeah, and you still are RD. I'm trying to figure out how to get it on this on here. Um I forget what I was gonna say now. But anyways, say anybody doing anything this coming up weekend? I know what I'll be doing. Smoking pipes, drink a few, but I have to go off my medication for me to do that. Because the medicine I'm taking is take one tablet by mouth every 6 hours as needed for moderate or severe pain for up to 4 days. That's what you call the Fagin County mating call. Hey, I'm thinking about doing that all day. Come up here and I'll show you a few spots. Peace and quiet. I'll show you a couple of spots, by guys. You go right there and fish. Don't have to worry about nobody. You can see them, but they can't see you. No joke. That reminds me that one time I outsmarted the doggone game warden that one time. Sure did. Yeah, that's like me. I can't. That's like the pop show. I love to go to the Chicago pop show and Las Vegas pop show, but I can't make it. It costs too much. But yeah, I'll tell you what happened to me one time. Speaking of that, broad daylight. Have my usual fishing spot. I have my license on my fishing license on. Trust me, I won't go fish without my fishing license. But anyways, um, but for I mean, I'll take this pipe here and right there, but broad daylight, sitting there fishing, catching bass, and not the big bass, but the baby ones, like the little small bass, sunfish, couple catfish. I just enjoy going fishing. I don't care if I catch anything or not. I just like to sit there and kind of sit back, relax, and smoke a pipe. Take a solid glass like this, my beer in it. But anyways, I was sitting there fishing. But anyways, I spotted him on the other side of the creek. And I was sitting there just a he. Alrighty, RD. I'll catch you later on. So I was sitting there going he. And I said, yeah, I see. I always I always had a bucket of water beside of me where I could wash my hands. Wash my hands. After I catch my line, like I said, it's bothering me. I always carry me 2 or 3 cans of chew on me and have some pop. But I always clean my messages up. Stuck a chew in. And that was going to fall over. Well, anyways, sitting there catching and releasing. Well, he comes over. He said, oh, he said, I've been sitting there watching you. You've been catching those, keeping them. Like that. Well, anyways, he said, well, you're catching them and keeping them. I said, where? I said, I'm catching and releasing. He said, well, I need to see your ID and your fishing license, yada, yada, yada. All right. He said, oh, you're good. And I looked at him and I said, yeah, I said, I've been watching you for the past 15 minutes. He says, what do you mean? I said, I spotted you over there before you spotted me. And I said, you were sitting exactly right across from me. Tried to blend in those trees over there and you couldn't do it because you kept moving around. I said, I seen you moving, talking on your phone and on your radio, and I've been watching you. I said, don't. I said, I know these territories. I said, there's a lot of people can spot before you spot them. They can spot you if they know this territory down through here good enough, and you can pretty much tell what time they're going to be around. Yeah, I gotta get off myself, guys, because I gotta get up in the morning early, and I didn't know it was 12:16, but I gotta get up and I gotta go take care of a few things, and I gotta pay my rent for another week. So y'all be safe, be well, have a great night. Thanks to RD, Patrick, Dornick, Katie, whoever else is watching. This is Ohio Mafia Piper. Keep them lit, keep the embers burning, and y'all take care.